Hi children, welcome back to the topic friction. In the last class we studied that friction is a necessary evil. It has a lot of uses in our daily life. At the same time it has some limitations. So in some situations we have to increase the friction and in some other situations we have to reduce the friction. So in this class we are going to deal with which are the ways to increase and decrease friction.
Which are the ways to increase friction? The soles of the shoes are grooved. Sportsmen use shoes with the spikes. Why? This is to get better grip on the ground. Tires are treated to get better grip on the road. Otherwise, they will skid on the road and cause accidents. Brake pads are used in the brake systems of bicycles and automobiles to get better friction. Kabaddi players rub their hands with the soil to get better grip. Gymnasts apply some coarse substance on their hands which provide better friction. So these are some of the ways to increase friction in our daily life. Which are the methods to reduce friction? The first one is you may have seen that sprinkling powder on carom board so that the coins can be moved smoothly. Oil is put on the hinges of doors so that we can move it smoothly. Grease and oil is also applied between the moving parts of machines which reduce friction. So these substances, oil, grease, etc., those are used to apply between the machine parts to reduce friction are known as lubricants. So lubricants are the substances used on the surfaces to reduce friction and they form a thin layer on the surface. Due to this, the irregularities will get filled and the surfaces do not rub directly. The examples of lubricants are oil, grease, graphite, etc. And graphite is an example of a lubricant in the form of solid. Wheels also reduce friction. We know that rolling friction is less than sliding friction. So that rollers are attached to the luggage, structures, etc. so that we can move them very easily. Ball bearings also used in machine parts reduce friction. Fluids also exert friction. Liquids and gases together known as fluids. The fluid friction is also known as drag. Fluid friction depends upon speed of the object, shape of the object and nature of the fluid. For different fluids, there will be different values of friction. The vehicles moving through fluids experience this friction. They have to overcome the frictional force. During this process, they lose energy. To reduce fluid friction, the vehicles used in fluids have given specific shapes, and this process is known as streamlining. When you compare the shapes of these aeroplanes, rockets, etc. with those of birds, we can see a lot of similarities. Both ends narrow and they have wings-like structures. This enables them to move freely through fluids. We know that birds can fly easily through air. Similarly, these vehicles are given special shapes so that fluid friction can be reduced. Then this will not affect their speed. Similarly, if you compare the shapes of boats, ships, etc. to that of these fishes, there are a lot of similarities. Fishes can easily swim through water. So the shapes of these vehicles are assigned to the shapes of fishes so that fluid friction can be reduced so that they can move freely through water. So streamlining is a method of shaping the vehicles used in fluids to reduce fluid friction. So these are some of the methods used to decrease friction.